So let me ask this question. Because you mentioned you don't feel the connection, you don't feel these butterflies and all these other things. What took place? What do you think that took place monumentally? Like the big thing that landed you in this space?
There were two big things. So the first big thing was how how I felt during labor and delivery.
Okay.
So at the hospital, I felt like my husband was very absent
Oh, wow.
emotionally.
Mm.
He was very comfortable. He was asleep, and there was a lot of things. Okay, so after that, 8 months postpartum, I told you, my body is different. I'm going through all these things. I'm bleeding profusely.
Mm.
I'm bleeding profusely. The first hard run that I had down Candler Road, chasing a man with a gun pointed to me, my whole body on the inside felt like it was falling apart.
Yikes.
I didn't realize how much my body had changed. I mean, all this fluid and all these things just come pouring out, and I can't stop.
Mm.
I have to keep going. And so to go home, and there's demands, for wifely duties and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to a point where I just felt like this was too much pressure.
Mm.
And I can't, I physically and mentally cannot provide you with the things that you need. So you need to go find somebody else.
Yikes.
And I at that point, I didn't even care. So I told him, I said, you need to go do something with somebody else, because I ain't got it. So this conversation took place a little before Valentine's Day. I'm 8 months postpartum. He goes and stays with his cousin for a week because it's tense. Okay, and I was glad. Get out. um, so he comes back after a week, and because he called, like maybe in the middle of that week, he said, I really love you, and I realize I don't want to be with anybody but you, and that whole thing. And I'm like, what in the fuck is this? Where is this coming from? Cause men don't just out the blue say that. You done did something, but I ain't say nothing. Okay. So after that week, he comes back and he tries to engage in sexual intercourse with me. And I was like, let me tell you something. If you have been with anybody during this time period that you've been gone, you need to get up. So he stops. I said, no, you bitch you. So he gets up and he says, nothing. And I said, what the fuck that mean? What are you doing?
What the fuck that mean?
What does this mean? So he says, well, I did. And then I said, you did what? And so he tells me he had an affair with a person from his past that I had asked him to delete this person's phone number. And he didn't. And they have a toxic past where they,
Okay.
She cheats on his boyfriend when she's mad, and he was cheating on his significant other. That's the dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, I'm not mad because I understand my role in this. I did tell you to go on somewhere, and I was like stonewalling. So I said, okay, well, I don't want to have sex with you because, ew.
Because, ew.
Yeah, so the next day, I decided that we should have brunch. You see how transparent and open I am.
Mm-hmm.
My husband is not like that.
Oh.
I wanted to talk about it. And I figured if we go somewhere, it'll be a relaxed environment. Our daughter was with us because, she's attached to my hip. So we're at the place and, we're about to order. And I was like, what was it like? Like, did you like it? Did you come? And he was like, no, it was weird. He said, the sex in itself was all right. I ain't want that. I wanted to throw up. And I was like, okay, but, I was asking him very detailed questions. And he was like, you're being weird. Why in the fuck are you asking me this? I don't want to talk about that. And I was like, but I do, because you're the one that did it.
Okay.
And I'm trying to process through this so that I don't become angry.
Mm-hmm.
Because I really don't have a reason to be angry.
Right.
But I want to know. Child, that sparked a whole argument up in that restaurant. He done called me out my name. I said, oh, ha. So we're now exiting. The restaurant, I already got it. You know I'm a planning.
Right.
I'm a planning ass.
Yes.
I always got a plan.
Yes.
So usually, I told you I'm helicopter mom.
Yeah.
I love doing everything for my daughter. I have to stop. Anyway, this particular time, he goes and he puts our daughter in her car seat, and I let him. Usually, I'm like, I got it. I'll do it. Child, I got my big old tail in my driver's seat because we drove my car that particular time. And I said, yep. He's still talking crazy, talking out the side of his neck. I said, yep. So he finished buckling her in. He closed the door, and I pulled the hell off. And I left his ass in the middle of the street. Because what you're not about to do is call me out my name in public. And I'm just trying to process this and do it in a healthy manner. Because what I don't like is I don't like being uncomfortable. I don't like awkwardness. My way of eliminating awkwardness is to hit it head on.
Right.
I hit fear head on. That's how I deal with anything. If you pull a gun out on me right now, I'm not finna run. I'm gonna try to beat your ass. So that is my mentality with anything. I would like to tackle it. I would like to understand it so that I can know how to move forward. So we go into that whole thing. So now we're back separated for another couple of days, but we come back together and we do have sex. And for whatever reason, some wild hair went up my ass. And I went and I decided that I would ride him and fuck the shit out of his ass. And I told him, I said, this is my dick. Like, who did you think this was? Who do you think I am? And he was very confused.
Yes.
You know what? He was just as confused as the day the milk went in his eye. But I tell you what, that was yeah, that didn't last long, Crystal.
Okay, so tell me, what was the mindset as to why, or the reason as to why it didn't last?
I will tell you, just like I told you before, how my OBGYN was talking about the rest and this, that, and the third. Even to this day, I'm doing better, okay? But I, for the most part, probably only get about 30 minutes to 2.5 hours of healthy sleep a day.
Jesus.
And and that has probably contributed to the weight gain and me not being able to get rid of it, the low sex drive. The communication styles are very different, and we're still very early in our marriage. We're only May will be 4 years of marriage, and so we're still working out all the things. And I'm getting tired. Like, I don't feel like working out nothing with nobody.
Yeah.
And so me being tired has played a whole, it has probably been the ultimate reason, me being tired. And I don't think people understand how much rest, and rest doesn't necessarily mean going to sleep, but
Peace
and just resting your body and your mind. If you do not rest, you will find yourself with all types of issues, medical issues, mental issues. Lack of rest definitely plays a part in mental health.
Yeah.
Okay. And your girl was struggling. And you're dealing with a man who is struggling, and just knowing, like, I'm not getting my needs met, so I don't really care about what you talking about.
Yeah.
Like, then we dealt with loss. His father passed away.
Oh my goodness.
His children don't live here anymore. Okay? So we're dealing with a lot of different factors, and neither one of us really have the mental capacity to hold the other up. So sex is the last thing on my mind. Yeah. For men, sex is a physical act. For me, it is very emotional. And if I am not well up here, and if I'm viewing you as an enemy, I'm not stunning you like
your
that.
Pussy and your mind.
My body does not react. Okay? It
Yeah.
becomes it starts to feel like I've been sex trafficked and I'm having to have sex with some big hefty sweating man. Not saying my husband is hefty, but that's what I be feeling like.
It's the stuff you say. It's the way you say.
Yeah, like
She said this big old sweaty hefty man.
yeah, like a big fat white hefty hairy sweaty man who's that's what not saying this is what is happening. I'm not saying that's what's happening. That is how I'm feeling.
What's the sound again?
And I don't want to do it. I don't want to be involved. I don't want to be girl, listen, Crystal, I used to love having my nipples licked, kissed, help me somebody. If anybody touch me here, I'm going to swing on you.
Very different.
I feel like I'm a puke.
Yeah, very different.
The feeling comes from here.
Mhm.
Like I'd be like,
Yeah.
oh my God, what
Yeah.
is this? Whole body is this?
Yeah.
What in the hell is going on? Why my ass look like a box Chevy? What's happening right now? What?
What's wrong with your mouth? I don't know. Like it's the descriptions for me. Like like
Crystal.
But do you understand what you're really saying, right? The only thing that is going on for you right now, this is the thing. You've evolved to this person who is very connected to her pussy.
Mm-hmm.
So because you feel disconnected to your pussy, it's even bigger for you. You this is you. Shauna right here. Her brain is right here. Her pussy is over there, 600 feet away.
Listen, I used to listen. You know how some men or even some women, they have a huge problem with their partner looking at porn or using toys. I never had the issue, but I will play with my vibrator while we'll be looking at. I haven't done that. I did it earlier today, but it's very rare. I used to look at porn. So man, I've been addicted to porn since I was 10. There used to be a channel on Comcast, 98 and 99. They was both scratchy. All right,
But
and
you saw that dick though.
No. If you listen, I've told you I was been clever. If you waited 5 minutes,
Girl, shut up.
the whole screen would clear out. No more scratchy.
You waited 5 minutes.
Sure did. In between that time, I was just looking between the lines.
In between, you was looking between the line. But wait, the question is, when the first 5 minute popped up, when you learned this trick, you was like, whoa.
The first time I seen two women scissoring, and I was like, scissoring?
Baby, let me tell you.
What's scissoring?
Look, first off, it's one thing to watch it. It's a whole nother thing to do it. Jesus.
Yeah, listen.
My God, today.
I don't
girl.
No, when I even have the thought of being intimate with another woman, I want to puke out my ass. No.
Diarrhea.
No.
So this isn't for you. You've never tried this. That's not
The
something
only
that
time
you want to try.
The only time I think about having sex with a woman is when I'm about to orgasm. After I've orgasmed, that thought is gone and out the window.
And let me tell you.
The only time I desire being gang banged by 50,000 men is when I am having an orgasm. After that, it's over with.
Listen,
Get
and
away
it's
from me.
so
Don't touch
funny
me.
that you say that because even when I have been with a woman, right? And as soon as like I come or something
Get
like
up,
that,
leave.
it's a feeling of like, I'm really a visitor here.
Get your ass out my house. That's what I feel like.
I don't have residency in this place. I'm a visitor, and I realize I'm a visitor in that space because what I've realized is once the orgasm or climax is done, my brain has the ability now to breathe, and my senses have, really, it's now on a very even keel type of thing. I have started, slowing down my breathing because, you're not in this manic state of nut, orgasm, pleasure. I want it now. You're not in that state no more.
Right.
Now you can think, what I mean? Men be like, oh shit, I'm gonna fuck the shit out of this bitch. Oh God, the minute he nut, he like, what the fuck was that?
Yep.
How the fuck did I fuck that bitch? Jesus
my husband
Christ.
be like, you act like a nigga. I'm like, no, I don't. I'm telling you, I just don't.
It's real. No, it's the
is
same thing.
gone.
It's the same thing. But what that lets me know is that I am not a full-time lesbian. Okay? I might not be a pillow princess, but after a while am I like, oh my God, a Tuesday morning, I feel like some vagina. No, you know what I mean? But I'll visit the motherfucker every now and then.
The only time somebody might persuade me is while I may be using a vibrator. Like if I were at someplace like the trapeze and I were in the actual act and somebody I might not be opposed, but then afterward I would be like, oh shit.
What did I do?
Negative. Hey, girl, don't touch me. And listen, back in my 20s, I used to stay in Magic City.
Ooh.
Magic City. Sometimes I would go to Onyx, but Onyx a little too hood.
I'm a Gold Rush girl myself. I appreciate the veggie quesadillas. Thank you so much.
Goodness.
The kitchen. Look, strip club food is the best food out there. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Okay?
Listen, the girls, they would always come. Y'all want to dance? I'm like, don't. Hey, please get your body up off of me.
Listen.
I want to look at you from afar.
Yeah.
Don't touch me.
Yeah.
Girl, let me tell you.
It's really aggressive though.
Let me tell you a funny story.
Listen. First of all, if you say funny story, I am leaning the fuck in. Shoot.
I had this coworker.
Okay.
When I was working at Atlanta Public Schools,
Mm-hmm.
she was real cool. Like I was like, oh, and, I'm real goofy and quirky. And the dude I was talking to at the time, he was like, okay. So, by the way, we're gonna nickname him Elephant Man. Anywho. So
giraffe dick.
Man, look here. The first time I saw that shit, I was like, hold on, wait a goddamn minute. You ain't put.
Listen, I have a funny story for you after you finish because this is going to be hilarious. But go ahead.
Okay, so she would be like, because I like horror movies. So she would be like, you should come over and we can watch horror movies and you can spend the night and we can in my bed.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
not thinking
definitely.
That,
She
I'm
definitely
not thinking because I'm stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just like, man, that girl trying to eat your pussy. I was like, she's not.
Not the pussy, though.
Yeah, I was like, no. He was like, you stupid. And I was like, no, I'm not. Let me tell you a story. This one particular week, she had been taking me on dates. Now that I know now that I came to my senses.
Did you say dates?
Yeah, the bitch was taking me on dates. She was coming to pick me up.
She was
telling me
you.
to goddamn dress up. I'm like, oh. So one day,
you show this one a stud because
she wasn't. She like I have a picture of her to this day. She looks very girly.
Mm.
And listen, and first of all, she was a little chubby, and I don't like chubby.
Okay.
I don't. Even if I was, you got too many titties for me and too much of everything. I don't like that.
She said too much titties.
Yeah, I don't like it. I like it.
Titties minus the milk.
Yeah. Listen, so she told me, she was like, what you doing today? I was like, nothing. She was like, this when Juicy Crab first started coming out.
Okay.
It was getting popular.
Okay.
She was like, you want to go to Juicy Crab? I'm like, yes. I'm living by myself with me and my dog and the dude I was talking to. I ain't had no whole bunch of money. So I'm like, yeah, let's go. She was like, you ain't got to worry about nothing. I'm going to pay for it. I'm going to drive. I was like, oh, shoot, yeah. Girl, I'm going to put on my sexy outfit because I'm cute.
Yeah. You know it's for her.
Nigga, we get to the Juicy Crab. She's introducing me to Hennessy margaritas. I'm not a huge drinker. I'm not a Hennessy girl either. I was like, I don't want no Hennessy. She was like, girl, I'm telling you it's good. Baby, that thing will bust. I said, oh, hey. So she keeps bringing them. I mean, I'm 4 deep now. I'm 4 deep. And mind you, I ain't drive.
This was planned.
This motherfucker said, we should go to the strip club after. I was like, I don't want to go to the strip club. She was like, yeah, come on, let's go to Flame. You should get a dance. I was like, I don't want no dance. She was like, get another drink. I was like, I don't want no more drink.
I don't want no cake, Ike.
So she tells me, guess what? You ain't got no choice because you ain't drive. You bitch.
See, yeah, you bitch you.
Now we have left the Juicy Crab and we are headed to Flame. She has chosen a bitch. I don't know if they knew each other already. She done chose the bitch and the hoe is now got her booty hole in my face.
It's so, pause. I have an issue with the asshole because it's not okay.
She smelled nice.
Why did
and it was clean.
Always say that shit next. She smelled nice.
Because, honey, some of them girls they be honey.
You
baby.
right.
But she was cool and she was like all in here and I was like, I don't want it.
I don't like meeting people booty holes though.
She kept tipping that girl $100 every time. It got to a point where I was like, hey, pause, chill. I said, where are you getting all this money from? Like, where did you get, why do you keep paying her? And she was like, you remember the African dude I told you about? I was like, uh-huh. She was like, he pays me like $1,000 to pee on his face every day. I said, hey, can you, let me, okay, I'm going to disregard what you just said.
Listen,
but
listen. This is a no shame place, but that's different for me.
The girls, I told her, I said, I don't give a fuck about none of that. I said, listen, I'm not into girls like that. I like looking at ass from afar. So can you just give me the rest of that money?
Give me the binoculars.
No, I said, can you just give me the money? And she was like, sure. I know you wanted the. She was, man, I have a picture of me in my bathroom with all them damn words.
You spread them out.
I sure did.
You stupid.
It was like a fan on the floor.
I hate you.
And I took a picture. I got that picture to this day, and I be looking at it. I'm like, look at your little cute ass. Girl, you was cute.
You almost got your pussy taken, though.
Listen, she tried to lure me to her house. And she kept talking about spending the night in her bed. I called Elephant Man, and I was like, bruh, that girl gay as fuck. He was like, I told you. Then, some type of way, we lost contact, and like,
y'all didn't lose contact. She knew she wasn't going to be able to successfully eat your pussy.
Guess what? I went to digging because I wanted to know what's up. I found out why she wasn't talking to me. Because she was in a whole lesbian relationship with a bulldigger.
Oh,
sure was.
Look, they don't want them bulldaggers come for you, girl.
And she told me that girl was crazy and very jealous. Because I ended up reaching out to her. And because she didn't know I knew she was gay. I just was asking stupid questions like I was dumb, like before. And she was like, yeah, I have a girlfriend now. And she's really jealous. And, she wouldn't have liked me being friends with you. And I had no idea that
how close to death I was.
Yeah, because she kept trying to get me to come to her house to watch horror movies. But she knew I like horror movies. Like if I'm sad, mad, happy, excited, I'm gonna find me a good horror movie.
Oh wow,
that's my thing.
Okay, lure you in.
Yeah, and we can eat snacks and popcorn.
She wasn't eating no snacks.
Yeah, she was trying to.
She was eating your snack.
And Elephant Man was like, man, don't let that girl eat your pussy. What you got down there, that motherfucker gonna go crazy. Oh. I said, Elephant Man, no.
First off.
No.
Joke. You're so stupid. Girl. But again, you knew yourself enough that, this wasn't something that he was going to, push forward. No. But some people aren't like that. Though.
I like to admire other women's bodies, especially if you got a fat, jiggly ass and the rest of your body is proportionate. But I don't want to engage with it.
Yeah.
I just might think about penetrating you. Because if I were gay, I probably would like to penetrate. But I don't want to do that in real life. Let's be clear.
I love
I'm
that.
I'm not interested.
Hey.
I had one when I was working at Atlanta Public Schools. Like, man, you fine as hell, boy. You
did not turn on that
Atlanta
right quick. She said, you fine as hell, boy.
She came at me.
Stupid ass little boy.
She came at me talking about, you ain't curious. I said, bitch, I see my pussy in the goddamn shower every day. When I told my mama that story, my mama died. She was weak. She said, no, you didn't tell that bitch. You see. I said, if you don't get your dumb ass, she was like, shit, you ain't curious. What is she? I know she look. What if I paid you though? I said, bitch. First of all, you look like a pickaninny. Get your stupid ass out my face. I'm not interested.
I'm not lying to you. I used to watch L Word. You remember L Word?
Yes.
Now I ain't gonna lie. I wanted to be an L girl so bad. Am I a lesbian? Absolutely not. Because I'm going to cheat on you with a whole dude.
Exactly.
Okay? Let's not do that. Okay?
Exactly.
Because you can't do... Scissoring is only fun for so long. After a while, it's going to bruise your clit. It's just bump, bump, bump all day long. Like, what the fuck? You got to figure it out. You know what I'm saying?
No.
And it's not that much wetness in the fucking world. Then I feel like, ooh, Jesus. I should... Because it's no, barrier there. It's just all in. And that's the... Yeah. So once I got a little older and I realized what was happening, with our anatomy, what was happening in, what I've learned in science class.
Right.
I was like, Crystal, are you okay with this?
Mm-hmm.
And now I just observe it safely from my screen,
Yes.
watching it on Pornhub.
There's a
Thank you so
movie.
much for that free app.
There's a movie called Requiem for a Dream with Marlon Wayans. Was it Marlon? Yeah. And have you ever seen that movie?
No, but I'm so going to look at it as soon as you go.
Y'all should go and watch it. You were talking about a movie. Anyway,
Yeah.
Requiem for a Dream is one of my favorite movies.
Yes.
But anyways, girl, it's a scene in the movie where his girlfriend was short on cash and she had a drug addiction.
Boy.
And she needed to get that itch. And
yeah, scissoring will scratch that shit out of it for
this
you.
was beyond scissoring.
Whoa.
That motherfucker went in there. What is that guy's name? He always playing somebody crazy. You'll see him when y'all watch the movie. You'll see who I'm talking about. But he had big teeth. And anyways, he basically came off as being like he was gonna be her sugar daddy. So she goes to his condo. He dressed all nice. She's a dumbass white girl, and she's like, "Okay, what do I have to do?" And he was like, "Come on, let's have a drink."
Them damn drinks.
Whole time he got a whole nother room full of 40-some white men and another white hoe that's in there with a big old thing of lube and a big old dildo like this here. Damn. And they started off scissoring. Them white men started yelling, "Ass to ass!" I didn't know what ass to ass was. Hey, I was grown too. I didn't know what no ass to ass was. I said ass to ass. What that is? I'm trying to envision it. Ass to then it goddamn they start showing.
Yeah.
I said, my damn.
I didn't know they could do that there. Yeah.
The girl had never done that before. Mm-hmm. The other girl, she said, "Look here, just hit the lube there. It'll be over soon."
Oh no.
Hey man, that movie wild.
Such an unfortunate way to look at sex. It'll be over soon. No.
But sometimes, again, when I am about to orgasm, I crave these things.
Yeah.
In real life, am I interested? No, I'm not.
And it's okay. It's okay to visit those things. It's okay.
I visit a lot of things in my head.
Listen.
My husband, he'd be like, "You crazy as fuck. What's wrong with you?"
I'm expressive sexually. You call it dirty mind. I call it sexually, fluid and confirmed in this behavior.
He thinks I am insane.
Listen, and my husband does too. He looks at me, he just shakes his head. But then I be like, you like the shit. He be like, the Lord knew what I needed.
Look, let me tell you. One of the guy that was older that I told you about, I told him one time, I said, "Will you please slap me?"
Oh God.
He was like, "Slap you? The fuck? I'm not slapping you. I'm not, hey, that's it. I don't do that. You're going to have to." I said, "Please, just," and he was like, "Wait." I said, "Yeah, just like that. When you're on top of me, just reach back." And he was like, "What the fuck, man? Are you okay?"
Girl.
What is wrong with you?
Girl.
So look, a year later, he just randomly decides he wants to see what this is like. And he did it the wrong way. I told him to do it this way. That nigga set up and didn't. And so we're now laughing our asses off because my face is on fire. It's like, "I did it. I slapped you." What? Did I do good? I'm like, "What the fuck? Why would you do that? You didn't even warn me. What are you doing here?"
Slapping fire off your goddamn face.
I said, "Nigga, first of all, I told you to backhand me." Because that gave me, doing this right here would have given me a whole different arousal. I don't know how to explain it. It just reached back and slapped the hoe. You feel me? So he did not do that. He slapped me like I was a handmaid. And so I'm like, "You bitch, you. Why would you do that?
I tell you something wrong with
Why would you do that?
girl.
So now I'm burning and he's still stroking and I'm burning and he's stroking.
So was it erotic at all?
It was funny.
So not erotic, but just funny.
It was funny.
Okay. There it is. There it is. You heard it first.
Nobody that I've ever been with, and I've only been with 5 men in my life.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, you just fucked me up.
And I'm sorry, 6. I will tell you, each time I get involved with people, it's generally somebody that I've been friends with. Whole time, they ain't my fucking friend. Let me tell you, young ones, the man ain't never trying to be your friend. Don't be fooled. Here it is. I was friends with this one guy. He was another elephant. And I'm thinking this boy gay.
First
I
of
thought this
all,
boy was gay.
you know what? You've only dealt with 6 dudes and you've had the pleasure of having at least 2 elephants?
Listen, let's be clear. All
I'm
of
just
them
saying.
have been elephants in some form.
6?
But these 2, especially the last one, I was scared for my life.
And it's
Let
so
me
funny.
see if you got one in here. Nope. Nope. It ain't in here. I don't see it. My heaven. Listen, I'm friends with this one dude. I thought he was gay. We've gone to a hotel party. It was boring. We decided to leave. We're just sitting in my Toyota Corolla at the time. Toya. We sitting in Toya. We chilling. The next thing I know, this gay boy who I thought was a gay boy, he's pulled my pants down. I'm like, wait, hey, what you doing? He's strong. He's pulled my pants down. Now he is yang, 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 as you said.
Oh, wow.
I said, what the fuck is happening? I said,
Gay boy ain't so gay.
My God. I liked it, but I also wanted to never revisit that. So I tried to pretend it never happened.
What? Okay, so hold on. You liked it, but you
liked
didn't
him.
want to revisit it. Why?
Because we were friends. And it, like, I was confused. I was like, what are you doing?
I love this innocence in you. I do.
Listen, Crystal, we ended up hanging out again at his apartment. We're play wrestling. I love to wrestle.
Play wrestling gets so many people pregnant, but it's okay.
That man ended up pulling out his tree trunk of a penis.
Oh, Jesus.
And I said, what the fuck is this?
Girl.
What is happening?
Girl.
He said, let's get in the shower.
Shit.
I said, huh?
No, the fuck you won't.
He went and tried to put that machine in my body.
Who's that machine?
I jumped up so quick and left.
You know what? It's so funny you say that. The girl who, one of the girls who used to do my hair, she told me a story. She said, girl, shit, I was fucking with this dude. Girl, I was fucked up. And I was having a good time with him. She said, girl, I rolled that dick. I did everything, girl. I was doing tricks on that motherfucker. She said, girl, I went to sleep and woke back up. Now, you know, when you go to sleep, you ain't that drunk no more when you wake up. She said she woke up and seen that dick in real time. She put on her clothes and walked straight out the fucking door. She said, you will not assault my pussy with this shit. Yeah. You got me fucked up.
And because he looked like, tall, lanky, little something. It be them skinny. Well, let me tell you somebody skinny man. Hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
The second one with that monster. Hey, man, you ever seen what's his name? Justin Slaher.
First off, I have never heard
Mr.
of
Marcus.
Oh, yes, I've definitely seen it. First of all, the top of his head to the top of his pubic hair fucks me up, so I can't even get to the dick. Like no. Just no. I don't give a fuck how big your dick is. You should not look like that serving penis to everyone. My God. Anyone, excuse me.
This man here. And we work together. And I always say, I'm never going to deal with anybody that I work with.
Girl.
Honey, baby, when I saw him, because I've always been in the male-dominant field. When I saw that man, I was like, in my mind, Crystal, this is how it always happens to me. Whether I decide to deal with a man or not, if in my mind, I'd be like, damn, he could get it. Magically, they appear. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm. You manifested that, girl.
His voice just make me melt. So, anyways, we are a year into our friendship or whatever. We like this. Even to this day, that's my dog. Like my husband knows about him, and people he know. Yes. Anyway,
you show.
So the first time he pulled it out, I assumed he had on some type of strap on or something.
Apparatus.
I said, what is this?
Is that going in me?
And then look, after time went on, he be like, your ass. Act like you was scared, but he was like, your ass, boy, I ain't never had nothing like that before in my life.
See?
He was like, you ain't act like you was scared. I said, well, what did I tell you? I tackle things head on.
This fool is stupid.
Hey, and whew,
My God.
all the way to the helmet of it. And he said, you called it a what? A what now? A helmet? I said, that's what it is. And the way that it was shaped and structured and all this, I said, my damn. Have you ever cried during sex? No, not crying because of, like I said earlier, I was crying like the huh. I wasn't crying because of that. I was crying because I ain't never. That right there, help me somebody in the river.
Look, let me tell you, I
Mm-mm.
have, what I learned when guys that are skinny, guys that are bigger,
All that fat goes there.
listen, let me tell you, okay? Don't sleep on a big nigga. Don't do it. Don't do it. They might be growers and not showers.
That part.
But let me tell you,
Them growers is scary.
when you pull that goddamn fat all the way down to the goddamn meat, you be like, God damn, that's how big your dick is. Jesus Christ.
Help
You don't
me.
even think it, but skinny guys, there is no hiding.
Ain't
It's
no
just
hiding.
there.
And
Whatever
it was
they got.
girthy. It wasn't that it was super long. It was like massive.
Meat wagon.
I said, what in the fuck in the hell?
Yeah.
Who the what did what this?
Yeah.
This?
And
What
don't
is
let
this?
don't let a big nigga lose some weight.
Hey.
Cause they dick just gets bigger.
Bigger.
Listen, my husband was like, yeah, I'm gonna get a fucking 6-pack. All I was thinking was, Lord Jesus, please, could you shrink his dick just a little bit? Cause you can save my vagina. Like, it's not even gonna be pretty anymore. It's like I'm a fucking whore out here and I have a husband. It shouldn't be like this. Cause you remember that emoji and was like, dude was like, the girl was like, yeah, give me some more dick. And she got this face like, that's what happens to me. It's not even sexy anymore. It's like, could you like, and I had to tell him like certain positions, before I even go in, I'd be like, hey bro, this is not the Wild Wild West. Calm it down.
Oh, I wanted
He's
the
like,
Wild Wild West
no.
with everything, man.
When I bust it open, girl, bye. This nigga's in my throat from my ass. I'm straight. No, we're not doing that. No, this shit hurt.
He tried to run from me into the bathroom. He said, ain't no more. I said, yes, it is. Let me help you find it. You ever made a man scream before that's a quiet man? You ever made them scream?
I told somebody else, my husband howls to the moon. He'd be like, oh, I'd be sitting there going, Lord, have mercy. And
Hey.
I've literally I've gotten it down to a science. I could see when he about to do that whole thing. So I put my hand over his mouth and I'm still trying to do something. So I'm out there looking like this in the bedroom. And he's trying to get his mouth away from my hand because he wants to hear the howl. And I'm like, no, sir, it's not the time. Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to tell you something else funny. And I was in my teenage fucking years. I decided that I was going to be creative. And you remember back in the day when we had regular phones.
Yes.
With the curly cord.
Yes.
I decided that, I'm going to take this off and I'm going to tie him up.
You gonna tie the man up with the
I
phone
did.
cord?
I tied him up and I put something in his mouth. I don't remember what it was. I'm 15. What's wrong with me?
What?
Nobody has ever let me use my police cuffs on them because they some pussies. But I had the key. You're like, I'm gonna keep you there.
Well, first off, somebody ran from you and you told them, give me more. I know you have more. I think no, I wouldn't trust you with the handcuffs either.
He even said, he said, he said, I know my body. And he said, I did not have no more. He said, man, you got it. And you kept on getting it. I'm like, what? I said, yeah, honey, look, there is no more.
And I just can't believe that right now you're in a space of, I don't want any of that. Like, your sex has been so, like, huge. You've had so many lessons, so many different things. Although it was not a plethora of partners, you had a lot of different experiences. And so how do you like break that down in a way that
I don't even know anymore.
Oh wow.
I'm struggling with my identity. I told you. It's very sad for me. Because I was a very sexual person, very sexually open. I'm not a prude. I don't listen. The day that my daughter wants to ask me about sex, I'm gonna give her the real, like my mama did me.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if I'll ever get back to that place, and if I do, like it would have to. My husband, our marriage would have to change or shift. I won't say change. It would need to shift.
Shift in what
I
direction?
don't know. I
Okay.
don't even
That's
know.
fair.
Hey, look, I'm gonna give you this analogy. I feel like I have gone on a vacation and I'm on I-20 and I'm headed to Texas with a BlackBerry GPS.
Okay.
The BlackBerry done told me to get off the road and go down in the back streets of Jackson, Mississippi. And the damn GPS just cut out. I don't know where the fuck I'm at. How did I get here? Where is the... I'm looking for the drinking gourd to get back to the highway, and the drinking gourd is not here because there's pollution. I'm trying to find my way back. And my husband is the passenger who is high off a blunt and knocked the hell out. He is now awake and like, why the fuck are we here? And I'm like, I don't goddamn know. Well, give me your phone. What you need my phone for? And now here I am in the backwoods of Jackson, Mississippi, and I'm now headed to a sundown town. Yep.
Wow, that's a hell of an analogy.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
so you really don't see a way back.
No.
Are you wanting or do you feel any urge or want to get back?
Yeah, but not with him.
Yikes.
And that is the scary part because you don't get married to get divorced or to. But because I don't have that emotional connection with him, sometimes when you are in relationships, it doesn't necessarily have to be a marriage. But when you lose that connection with somebody,
it's hard to get back.
It makes you crave connections with other people that you may have had connections with. And so because I know that, I have to stay away from Elephant Man. We do not hang out. We do not see each other in person because if we did, it would be an immediate divorce. Hey, I've cheated on you. Goodbye.
Yikes.
Never talking to you again.
Yikes.
We'll need a neutral third party to exchange the baby.
Oh,
That's how it would be.
Wow.
So it's best for me it's best for me to work on myself and work on the marriage and not allow the enemy to distract me and to fool me into thinking that I need something else.
But the danger in it is you don't even know. There's no navigation.
Right.
So there's a want to repair, but is there a want with your partner to connect? So how is that possible in real time for the longevity of your marriage?
You see, you're asking the wrong question.
Oh.
I don't know.
Oh, hey, and that's an answer.
I mean, we've had that marriage counseling. I've tried to I don't know. I think it's just we have to figure that out. We have to figure it out.
Do you think he needs to show up more
Yeah.
for you emotionally?
Yes, that's a huge part of it. I keep telling him, if you want me to be like that, you're going to have to be my friend.
And what's his response?
Like you're basically, he feels like I'm asking for all of these demands and he's not getting anything in return. And I'm like, I hate that you're feeling this way, but unfortunately for me, for my body to show up for you, I need that. Like, I need to be able to call you at any given moment just to talk. Intimacy is beyond sex. Intimacy
100%.
begins with, hey, nigga, let me tell you about this here, right, blah, 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 blah. Intimacy for me is being able to talk shit to you.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
I like to joke. And if you're too sensitive, then guess what?
Right.
So I need that connection. I am craving that connection, especially now.
Right.
Because he's refusing to wrap his head around it, I see him as an enemy. And he's trying.
With the tools he has.
Yeah, and I see that he's trying, but he's struggling, and he's also dealing with his own things. And I've gotten to the point where I don't really care. And that's not a good place to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
And these folks are the reality of life.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And that's the thing. I think people think that when you get marriage, when you get into a marriage, that it just fixes everything. It corrects
Now,
everything.
what it will
It
do is highlight
correct what's wrong.
everything that is wrong. It will highlight your weaknesses.
Yep.
It will highlight your
Yeah. Yeah. Because in a marriage, it takes away choices. There is no just getting up and leaving and I am voiding myself of this marriage. I'm voiding myself of this emotion and this connection. It's not that easy.
And I'm notorious, baby. Even in which I'm getting older. I don't do that no more. But the first or second time you start acting stupid, I will cut you so quick, and I will not talk to you. I'm not explaining nothing to you. You're a non-factor. That's how I roll. Especially if you have disrespected me.
Does he know that?
Yeah, and I'm trying to be very, very patient with you. I don't do all the hollering and the screaming and all this right here, but I also will just shut down.
Which is even louder.
Very loud. Because I am very good at just pretending you don't exist.
Yikes.
I can be sitting right here, Crystal, and if you're making me uncomfortable,
right,
I just pretend you don't exist. And that's how I deal with that.
I think it's your safety mechanism,
it is.
though.
When I was a death investigator, I done seen some shit, and it's something that I have to do to survive. And I just pretend it's not there.
Right. Hey.
When I'm going into woods looking for somebody and I don't know if I'm coming out of here or not, do you think I'm like, oh my God, I'm scared?
Right.
No.
Get her done. Yeah.
So my defense mechanisms are pretty extreme.
Yeah. But it's survival. Because without it,
I would crumble.
Exactly.
Real bad.
Yeah.
And then I would be at the damn facility for a whole different reason.
Right.
And I'm trying not to go there. You know, I'm trying to do things to get back into a good place. Even little small things that my husband did today. He called me. He was like, he was at a gun store. He was going to buy me a gun. He was like, I know I've been a sucky husband. And, you know, and I was like, oh.
But it's the acknowledgement that's really big, right? Yeah. And I want you to, get to a point where you can see that and the authenticness in it and pull what you're needing from that, because you're needing something right now. You're void in a lot of spaces. Yeah. And the lucky thing for you is you have a partner, but you're going to have to feed that with what you want to be fed with. And that is it's a hard feat sometimes, because especially if he's thinking, you're asking this from me, I'm not getting anything from you.
And here's another factor. When you start bringing kids into play, and let's say your dynamic does look like that, where you're not feeding your partner, but you're feeding your child.
Yes.
In abundance.
Yes.
Then your partner starts to feel some type of way.
It's a jealousy.
Like, why are you got energy to give to her, but you can't give it to me?
And the crazy thing is, it would almost be better if you wouldn't give it to either person and you were more in a depressed state where you could not function at all to provide assistance or support to anyone.
Now it looks like to him that I am purposely choosing to discard him.
But my question to you is, have you had the conversation to tell him that is not the reality?
Yes, but then he says, you're trying to point fingers about everything that I've done wrong. And at that point, then I just shut down, because I am being vulnerable and telling you the very things that are making me uncomfortable with you, and you're shutting it down. So then I'm not, like I said, I'm not an arguer. I'll just shut down, and I'll be like, okay.
But shutting down is so counterproductive, because now you've shut down, which means your energy stays. The negative energy, the negative feels, all of that sticks with you. It's inside of there, and you don't get the opportunity to be vocal about how you feel. You don't get the opportunity to express anything. So now it stays put. And what happens when we continue to keep things in and keep things in and keep things in? It's like a bottle.
after a while. That's just what it's going to do. And so now he is left in that space alone
Yeah, but
to figure it out.
I don't want him to be left in that space alone. But if I am trying to express to you and you're continuously being disrespectful,
Okay.
I cannot.
You can't. Yeah, you you know, and my husband used to tell me all the time, it's not what you're saying, it's the way you're saying it. I can't receive it.
Right.
And so you're unable to receive it that way. My suggestion for you and him is for you guys to have a conversation where we're coming in this, when we walk through this threshold, I'm not going to blame you. You're not going to blame me. I'm just telling you how I feel, where I am. You tell me how you feel, where you are, and let's try to physically and actively work on this together.
Right.
I think if you guys did that, it may not be a big step, but it's going to be something smaller where you can start to see the potential pureness of his heart.
Right.
And then he can start to see where you're coming from, because I think right now it's the thing of, she's not fucking me. She's not having sex with me. And that's all he sees. He doesn't understand or see where you're coming from, because he's too caught up in the point of, my wife is not having sex with me. I'm a husband. How is my wife not having? It's different when a girlfriend say, I ain't fucking you, da, da, da. But this, you see, so because when people look at marriages, they look at sex as an obligation,
Right.
as a part of that marriage.
Right.
And so when we're not doing that as wives, what are we, the message we're telling our partner is, I'm not doing that. It's not happening. I'm not into it. And this is where we
and
are.
that's not really what I want to say, but like I've told him in more ways than one that I feel like you've left me behind. I feel like we're territory partners, and I've just gone to a person shot call, and I'm in the thick of shit, and you still picking your food up from JJ's. While I'm on the radio hollering and screaming, you still at goddamn JJ sprinkling crack powder on your wings. So yeah, nigga, when you get here, fuck you.
That escalated quickly.
Yeah. Now next time you get in a call and you need my help, I'm gonna leave your ass. I'm gonna be at McDonald's telling them they forgot my ice. Because you've done it too many times. Too many times I've almost got shot in the head and you've been at JJ's.
Wow. Okay, so when I tell you, there's a lot of underlined issues here, truly, because you gave a lot of it, but there's an underbelly of one. I don't feel as though you trust him. I don't feel like you trust the pureness of his heart. You do not trust what he gives to you because you don't feel like it's authentic. I don't feel like you are in a space of, I don't even want to use the word forgiveness. I don't think you're in a space of connection with him. I don't even think you will allow for that, because for you, your head and your pussy has to talk together. And right now, they're totally separate. For you to not even want to indulge in sex, and you are a sexual being, aside from how you feel from yourself, with yourself, it's a bigger thing with him, because you feel let down.
Right.
You feel alone, you feel isolated, and you feel like you're drowning and he's up looking at geese. That's what I think.
Yeah, and I don't do well with people who I don't even know the word I'm looking for, but that make me feel that way. Typically, I don't associate at all. Once you start getting me to feel in some type of way, or I've allowed myself to go into that space because of your presence, then I need to exit and de-ass the situation.
Did you say de-ass?
I sure did.
Okay. So my question is, how do you maneuver like this long term in a marriage?
You don't. So
Okay.
what I would like to do is baby steps, conversations. Hey, this and this happened, and actually having that dynamic that I'm used to having with. Unfortunately, I hate to say this, with previous partners.
So have you told him that you are craving this connection, and what does he say?
He doesn't know how to do that, I don't think.
But what is his response?
he continues going into why am I always the bad guy? And then at this point I give up.
Okay, so okay.
I'm like, that's not what I'm saying.
But he's stuck in his head too.
I'm like, I'm asking you to let's rebuild our foundation because it already started off not there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we sat up there and bought a house that was sitting on bricks down there in Quitman, Georgia. You can see through the house. You can see it's dead dog bones up under there. That's
Oh. Oh my.
yeah. So the house we need a the house needs to be renovated real bad. It got wallpaper from 1979 up in there. It needs to be changed out. The whole house needs to be redone.
Clearly.
Okay. The attic got raccoons running around in it.
I think yeah, you guys got a lot of shit going on.
Yeah.
And so for him, like I said, I think he's stuck in his head. I think he feels like he failed in his marriage. And it's hard for men to look at that and to eat that failure. Here's a woman that used to be really sexual. You remember her being sexual. Now she's not showing up for you sexually. But she got all this energy to give to baby.
And to everybody else, so he says.
Yes.
You know, because most of my friend groups, I'm the person that everybody calls when they need to just talk or they need advice or Sean, I don't know what to do or blah, 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 blah. So he's seeing me give energy to other people and even to my job. And I'm not giving him this. You're like it is again a defense mechanism for me. I have to protect myself.
Yeah, you have to cope. That's a big statement though. To protect yourself from your husband.
And it makes me it was making me very depressed because your husband is supposed to be
your partner, your mountain.
Yeah. When I'm feeling weak, I should be able to fall into you. And for me to call you and tell you I'm not okay, I am not well, and you tell me I ain't got nothing for you. And then I had to check myself into a mental facility to be okay.
Oh, no. I did not know that was the backstory of that. Oh,
do you think I'm going to be sexual?
Yeah, definitely. I can't even say nothing because I think for, here you go, honey. I think that people, here you go.
Thank you.
I think that people underestimate the power that happens when we feel let down. We feel unsupported. That's a huge statement because at your first of all, you're vulnerable in even saying I need help.
Right.
And then I'm calling you for help and you shut the door in my face.
Yeah, because you're going through whatever you're going through. And then you're when we talk about this in therapy, well, you know, it's always something going on with her. Like, and mind you, I was never like this before I had a kid. She's always in pain or it's always something. And it's too much. And I'm like, if it's too much, you shouldn't have got married. And several therapists have had to tell him, like, it's not about 50-50 all the time or a 100-100. That's not a real thing because sometimes you're going to have to be 90 and all she got is 10.
You better know it.
Sometimes you're going to have to be all the 100 because she ain't got it or vice versa. It may come a time where you need her to pull 90.
Yeah.
Because you don't have it.
Yep.
But for me to be crying, because on top of identity and all of these other things, I was having severe back pain. Man, Crystal, you know how some people say after they have a baby, they have that electrical shoot up. It's an electrical pain shoot up their butt.
But did you have the epidural?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what fucked me up.
My back, I remember coming, this when my daughter had just started walking, but she couldn't walk like that. And I had her in my arms and I had this, it felt like an evil cat was in my back crawling around.
Not an evil cat.
Yeah. And it was moving. And I almost dropped that girl. It took all my strength to ease her down on the floor. You know how much pain I was in. I'd rather have contractions again. I'd rather be shot. I would rather be tased again.
Right. Jesus.
And being tased ain't fun.
Yeah, listen, I watch that shit on social media and I be like, God damn, look at these motherfuckers. This shit look intense.
That shit, and it used to happen to me. I've been in the emergency room several times, and then he'll go, well, you don't listen to nobody. You don't never sit down, and then you cause this on your own. All these type of statements.
So
Because you don't know what to do with that. So you're trying to make me the problem for what I'm going through, and not accepting that motherhood has not been all the way kind
it's
to
fucked me
me.
up.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like recently I've just stopped experiencing those things, that pain, and it would always come like before or after my cycle. So I know it's hormonal. And I've been to doctors. They don't know what's wrong. They don't know what's wrong. They don't know what's wrong. So I'm just in this debilitating pain on top of I'm having to wear 40 and 50 pounds of gear a day on my damn body. And I'm still picking her up and going up 3 flights of steps with all these groceries because you're at work more hours than I am. And I work 12 hours a day.
Wow.
So my body has taken a huge hit. My mind has taken a hit. So to have your person tell you, I ain't got it. And then gaslight me and say you never said that. And I'm putting words in your mouth. I'm just making up things. Again, I don't want to have sex with you.
Yikes.
Now, some people, this does not matter to them. Just give me that dick or give me the pussy. I don't give a fuck. I don't operate like that.
Yeah, you've already said it plain and clear. Your pussy and your head have got to be connected.
But be aligned.
It's a beautiful thing. I think because I'm where I am with my husband, I'm on that same thing. Now before, not at all.
Yeah.
But because I've grown such a connection with him that I cannot imagine, not having the connection. And then when I'm not feeling connected and I know that my pussy is on 75 and I'm here, no, we can't do that. I'm just not. It's not even, I'm not in the mood. This is non-existent. Exactly. My pussy is like, nope, we're not coming outside to play today. Like that's how I felt, So I get it. For me, it just sounds like he lacks empathy and doesn't really understand that for you, that's almost a core desire. You want to feel seen. You want to feel supported. You want to feel loved. You want to feel the energies of a hug without the person actually physically hugging you. That's what I get from our banter today. And I see and feel as though that's not where you're getting. So the way to protect Shauna, the way to allow Shauna to be able to coexist and be this shining person that she is to cut it off at the root. You feel safe there. I get it. I get it. Trust me, I get it. And I think that until you guys get to a point where you can talk openly about that, and it's received, you're always going to be here, unfortunately. Girl, when I tell you I love talking to you, this has been so freaking good. You have educated and shed so much light on things that we take for granted every single day, and brought to light of a lot of things that we think is one way when it's really not, until a real chick sit here and be like, So thank you, Shauna, so much for coming. I really appreciate this. Look, I know I blew through my time, but when I tell you I so love this, I really did. You were amazing. You were funny as hell, by the way. Thank you. Make sure you are checking out that podcast on all the different platforms. Thank you so much. I'll see you soon. Sex Talk with Khrys. Remember, your pleasure is my passion. Chat soon.